London 1964.
Only 37 of 39 exist. 2 remain missing. 1 serial is incomplete, which is The Crusade.
So that's the only 2.
The Crusade,
you need.
which that would be another easy release to do. Marco Polo Crusade, that's 2 down out of 19.
Season 3 needs 28.
Season 3 is from
London 1965.
No. Galaxy 4, which has already been released on Aztecs Special Edition.
Well, all of it.
Episode 3 and a reconstruction of 1, 2, and 4. So they've kind of already done that one.
But you did do it properly, like anime.
No, of course. I'm just stating the facts.
Mm-hmm.
Mission to the Unknown. The Myth Makers, which none exists. Dalek's Master Plan, which would be the orgy.
That's 12 episodes, isn't it?
Yeah, the orgy. 3 of them exist, so 9.
Yeah, but they exist at like 3, 9,
2,
and like
2, 5, and 10. 2, 5, and 10.
That's exactly what I said.
Dalek's Master Plan, The Massacre, which I don't think...
Massacre of St. Bartholomew's Eve, that doesn't exist at all, does it?
No, Myth Makers and Massacres are the 2 that people want. The Ark we've already got. Toy Maker, that's one, the Celestial Toy Maker. That would be one I'd like to see.
I'd love a bit of
Big
Celeste.
Finish as well. Except episode 4 of that exists, because you can watch that, but everything else doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Gunfighters, we've got Savages.
That's the Last Chance Saloon.
All episodes missing. So Savages and War Machines. So it ends at War Machines where we've got it.
Mm-hmm.
So in that you've got Galaxy 4, which they've technically already brought out as a recon.
Mm-hmm.
Mission to the Unknown.
Is this just you still talking about season 3?
Yeah. This is all series 3, yeah.
Wow. We're already a minute in.
Oh, hello. Hi. I didn't know you was recording. I thought we were just talking amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're wondering what we're talking about, it's surprise, Doctor Who. We're trying to figure out how many episodes are missing from classic seasons, because we have no lives.
And when you say like 100 and something episodes, it sounds like a lot, individual parts. But then when you say 19 stories, it doesn't really sound that bad.
Mm.
But
so that's just season 3. So that's how long it. So season 3 is the worst one to release for Hartnell.
It is.
So would you conceivably just do season 1?
Yeah, just get Marco Polo out of the way. That'd be the one people want to watch.
I really want to watch Marco Polo.
You can on the beginning.
But do you know what people really want to watch? They can't, but they want to listen to us.
Yes, we are the missing
Bible podcast,
and we are the missing stories from 1965 series.
Should we? That's what we should do. That should be our thing. We
missing episodes.
Yeah, we recreate missing episodes of Doctor Who. Like
Yes.
What's them thing? What's that thing?
I don't know. What is the thing?
You ship it off to
a parody. Recreation.
Loose cannon. Yeah, we like loose cannon.
Loose cannon.
Yeah, we like loose cannon.
Oh hell yeah!
I was really trying to think of the word. I was like,
a recon. Yeah.
Coming 2019, the Pasty Sheep reconstructions of Marco Polo, starring Conor as Marco Polo and
who? Chesterfield.
What's the one where William Hartnell turns invisible? Because we'll make Matt do that because Matt's not here.
When does he turn invisible? I'm trying to.
Is it Celestial Toymaker?
I think it is because it's a spell.
Because then he like turns him invisible, like ooh, God, I'm never gonna show this puzzle.
Yeah, and I think it was behind the scenes reason that he was ill or something, so they had to still get rid of him for that episode.
Did he go on holiday?
Something stupid, yeah.
Okay, so that's 28. So that's the worst one, season 3. We'll just finish this conversation and we'll get into the episode. So sorry.
Series 4 I've already got.
Season 4 was 22.
Smugglers, 10th Planet. 10th Planet we've already got, episode 4.
Smugglers we have none of.
Yeah, so Smugglers.
15 animating before completion for season 5. 5 for season 6. So clearly season 2 and season 1 are like where we.
The 5 for series 6 is Space Pirates. Not that no one gives a shit about that. But
I'd want to watch Space Pirates.
Just see how
like
that
properly.
is. Yeah.
I know there's versions of it.
Yeah.
In the ether.
In the ether. In the quantum realm.
Fucking stole my kill.
Smugglers, yeah, all episodes missing. 10th Planet, only episode 4, but I mean that would be the one to do. Just get out of the way and make people happy. Power has been released. Highlanders. I really want to see the Highlanders. It's an important one. It's Jamie Glimmin, you know, Jamie. Who doesn't love Jamie? Who genuinely doesn't love Jamie? If there's any Jamies watching this video, just say hi, and you'll be very much appreciated.
We're not Jamie. I am George. Here's Connor.
Oh, no.
Welcome, because
We're trying to appeal to
We're
Jamie.
4 minutes in. It's the podcast episode 22. Ooh.
Eddie Jenkins is dead.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. Oh, it's the trailer thumb. God, we're going to be doing this forever. We're so close to like half a year of this shite.
I know, somehow we're still in budget.
But good news, everyone. To
Yeah,
quote Hubert Farnsworth.
Captain Ham Sandwich.
No, we're getting a theme tune.
Yeah,
for real
a
this
song,
time.
a theme song.
So hopefully by January-ish will be.
January.
Well, hopefully by then we'll sort of be in the realms of more professionalism.
Yes.
You'll have a nice little ringy-ding-ding in your ears.
We'll have a higher budget. We'll
have a budget. That's the aim of the game. This week, when we saved it because we were saving this for last week. We were meant to do it last week, weren't we? I think. I don't know. Anyway, anywho. Because then we don't know what we talked about. I don't know what we talk about anymore. Like, that's the main thing I struggle with. It's like, what the fuck did we say?
Last week was literally just, oh yeah, we're seeing Creed that turned into Wreck-It Ralph.
Yes. Oh yeah, should we tell that story? Because we're going to get into it. So basically, it's big Harry Potter day because now Crimes of Grindlewald has been experienced by one and all. Mainly by me, because I hadn't seen it. So we're going to go through the Harry Potter universe.
Saga.
You'll go from those 8 films, give our thoughts on it, give our thoughts on Fantastic Beasts, and a review of Crimes of Grindlewald, and what we want from the future of this sack of shite.
Yeah.
But first,
yes.
So we were meant to go see Creed, but there was a bit of a kerfuffle with the old parking situation.
Enfield, get your parking sorted. I'm sorry. Well,
No, seriously, it was like bad. Like, we got there was no spaces, but then we finally got a space. But by the time we did, kind of missed
20 minutes. I don't know, 20 minutes was it?
Probably missed like 20 minutes of Creed.
Yeah.
Which I would have been like, oh, fuck it. But we'll see that at some point. And
I already have.
Oh, cool. Well, so was Connor as well. So once again, it's only me.
Oh.
It's only me. Just shitty on me,
no.
Jeffrey Beaver. Yeah, so we saw Wreck-It Ralph 2. Ralph Breaks the Internet. So,
Ralph breaks Connor's expectations. That's what I'd call
Connor,
it.
what did you feel about this movie before seeing it?
Meh. Disney.
Yeah.
20-year-old bloke seeing a kiddie animated film. Not bothered. Can't remember the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 20 minutes late. We better see something. It'd be pointless driving all the way to cinema only to then come home and not do anything. So it's sort of like,
Well, we're unlimited
better
members,
nothing.
really, so it's
It's a freebie, but I mean, it would be like, your car, so, it's a waste of a journey for you.
Yeah.
But
Well, because we're unlimited members,
we
thought, fuck it, let's go into a
are royal peasants.
film. And Wreck-It Ralph had come out at the same time as Creed.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Go.
Go. You can talk about the plot for this one.
Okay, so movie
That was a
that I
fucking good fry, wasn't it?
movie I can't remember. I think it came out 2012, 2013. So when I was like 13, 14. Before.
Did it?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
really,
it's been about 6 years,
really
yeah.
long ago. Yeah,
It's
so
been
I
about 6
really
years.
could not remember the film. Again, I saw Ralph and the girl. I can't remember the girl's name. That's it.
Penelope Van Sweets.
Sweet, that's it. Yeah, saw them, instantly felt the nostalgia and the reason why I liked the film already, even though they hadn't spoke a single word of dialogue, and I was like, it's going to be a decent ride. Didn't think it was going to be as good as it was, but I thought, this is like going back in time.
Yes. Recite us the plot. What happens in the movie?
Right, so, they're in a game, arcade machine gets unplugged and, worn and battered and basically used, and the bloke that owns these arcade shop basically says, oh no, I've got to throw this machine away or sell it off because it's not working and I can't afford to have it no more. Or, like, he weren't getting no money or whatever, so he had to get
Too
rid of the machine.
expensive to thingy.
He had to, too expensive for it
So
to
like,
repair.
I'll get rid of it Monday.
He had to just, salvage it, kablam it,
Yeah.
go,
click it, kablam it.
click it, kablam. So then the people in the arcade machine, the main characters, Ralph and the girl, I'll just keep referring to her as the girl, fuck it, I can't remember her name, Sweet,
Penelope.
fuck it. Sonic.
Vanellope.
Vanellope. Sonic, all the fun characters that get a cameo. Jesus Jesus.
Okay.
They.
General Grievous, is he in it?
Anakin. What was I saying? I can't remember.
And the characters are in the game after it's been unplugged.
They're just like, oh no, we're going to get unplugged. What can we do? Oh no, we're no longer going to be alive, and no, we're going to get deleted. What do? Fuck it, let's go to the internet. Because apparently it exists within arcade machines.
Well, no, because the internet gets plugged in. Like,
Yeah.
that's one of the things they're like, oh my god, there's a plug-in. It's like, what's
Why,
Wi-Fi?
Yeah, exactly. Wi-Fi. Why Wi-Fi. Which instantly was quite obvious what it was and funny. That's the thing with the film. All the jokes we as adults know, but the thing is, I think if a 5-year-old went to see it, I mean, yeah, they would like it because it's a typical Disney animated classic. It will be a classic in years to come. It probably have its own following in years. But I don't get. I can't see a 5-year-old or 6-year-old unless they really are into their memes and their internet kablam. They ain't going to get the film as much as we got it. Like, every single joke was more aimed at people that know their shit, I feel like. Which was great because it feels like I actually know stuff.
Yeah.
No, but every joke, every little hook and cranny just kept me laughing and hooked from beginning to end.
Mm.
And I really, really was not expecting nothing from this film. I wasn't in the mood, but like you say, we weren't going to go to cinema and come home. We had to see something.
Mm.
It would have been a shitty horror film otherwise, called The Possession or something.
Or something like that.
Yeah, Possession. There's definitely more to say, just The Possession. But no, it made me feel happy and honoured to be at the cinema that late at night. Missing our original film, but having a kick and a chill because it was actually stuff that I dream of, like, fucking love every day.
I dream about,
gaming and shitty jokes and intelligent, smart-arsey comments and big, giant, I can't remember what I was going to say, big, giant Ralph monster thing.
Friend?
Friend?
I mean, you stopped in the plot. Like, is that all that happens? Like, they go to the internet?
I mean, yeah, they go to the internet and then that's it. That's Wreck-It Ralph 3 for you, Tinder edition. No.
I'm surprised they didn't make Tinder jokes.
That was the only thing. Oh, and Netflix. It's the only thing missing.
Probably a licensing thing.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
they go to the internet in search of the part to fix Vanellope's game.
I know, because I can't
They're like,
remember
we'll
what
get it
they were
from-
looking for, but
get it
like
from
it'd
eBay.
it'd be in a game. Yeah.
It's like the fucking steering wheel, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, because the wheel broke. I thought it was like I was thinking realistic as if it's like a battery or something. And I was thinking,
No, the wheel snaps because she tries to.
Yeah.
Because Vanellope's bored of her game. Because they do the
Yeah.
same thing, but Ralph's happy with his life like that. And then they go
Yeah.
to the internet, and they're like, it's a massive place. They go to eBay, and they overbid on the steering wheel, but without realising that you have to pay real money.
Yeah, because they queue up at the eBay section.
The e-boy.
E-boy, that's it. E-boy shows them or tells them how to eBay works.
So, and for them to pay their money, they decide to go viral, which is showing how far the internet's come in the just in the last 6 years, really,
Exactly,
of
because
like all the viral people.
and your socials and
Yep.
particularly social media.
Well,
That's
yeah,
like
all the
biggest
stuff because it was
thing.
very like it was called what, BuzzTube or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they decide to. Well, no. First they decide. They go to a virus, well, not a virus, a pop-up guy
Mm-hmm.
called. I'm going to call him.
That's totally not
I'm
dodgy.
going to call him Ray.
Ray.
I
the
don't remember his
pop-up
name.
Guy.
Ray
the pop-up.
bloody pop-up, and yeah, because he has. So basically, he has a thing of like if you find loot finders, and if you find rare objects in video games, people will pay for them. So they think, oh, we'll do that.
Loot Crate. That could have been another one I could have done.
We'll do that, and then like they'll earn the money, but it would take too long. But they've get given the hardest one to do, which is a car from a racing game, a slaughter race.
Slaughter Dome. Was it?
Slaughter race.
Or was it Slaughter Race? Or was it Slaughter Dome?
Slaughter race.
Yeah.
I do my work.
Uh-huh.
And so they try and get that, but then the main character's like, and then makes a video, like, agrees to help because Vanellope gets on with him because it's a racing game, and Vanellope's like, I want to, like, stay here, and Ralph's like, it's not safe.
Yeah, I'm a man, you're a girl, I look
Yeah,
after you.
I'm big, I've got to look after you, which is like, sort of, where the dynamic's going because they're like best friends.
Like, almost brother and sister in a way.
Yeah, very much like brother and sister. And then.
But then the little sister goes, I've had enough of you, Ralph. I'm old enough
so
to.
they, so they go and do all the stuff, the viral stuff after Shank from Slaughterhouse from Slaughter Race. Slaughterhouse is a film. That's a completely different crossover. She agrees to help. Agrees to help and makes them the first video and then sends them to BuzzTube so that they can start earning. Basically, fucking, what's that thing that it's called? Get like monetization, basically. Like get
money, currency, VC.
Earn money, so then they can pay off the eBay debt.
The eBay loan and debt, yeah.
That's good.
Captain No Sandwich.
There's only one Captain.
Believe I already shouted you out, but hello, shout out again. But yeah, so little sister Vanellope's basically like, oh Ralph, you don't need to look after me anymore. I'm a big girl. I can sort myself out. Ralph's like, no, we friends. You come home with me, and we.
Yeah, he likes his life the way it is and doesn't want anything to change.
No,
and
he wants to keep things like simple.
So, and then through the course of it, he sees that she's having fun
without him.
Like in that game, like he sees it. He sees that like she talking to Shank, saying that she wants to stay in the game and start like their game, and he's worried about her leaving him. So after they get enough money from to get the part which they order, then they Ralph decides to buy a virus from the pop-up guy. The original pop-up guy, because he stopped doing the loot finder, so his cousin does virus making, so he goes to buy one of those because he thinks if he changes the game then she won't like it and she'll come home with him.
Yeah, it kind of backfires.
Yeah, it kind of backfires because then it scans for weaknesses, and so it scans the insecurities of Ralph after it escapes, and then makes loads of Ralph clones.
And it's basically
and Vanellope obviously finds out about the virus, and they fall out, and she doesn't want to see him, and then there's Ralph clones all through the internet.
It's literally Attack of the Clones, but animated.
And good. And then there's Ralph clones everywhere. Friend.
That's his one word, one and only word. He can't speak basic
So
English.
it's like, and then in a way, causes chaos in the internet, and the virus gets solved because he comes to terms with his issues of not wanting things to change, and he becomes a better person. And he goes back to the arcade. She decides to stay in the Slaughter Race, but they still call and they still visit, and so they learn that distance doesn't stop a friendship, nor does how long you actually see each other. Nice little resolution. It's very well done. It's a very good sequel. I preferred this one to the original.
I still need to see the original, just out of comparison sakes. But
it's been years since I watched Wreck-It Ralph. But Wreck-It Ralph was sort of a sleeper hit that come out of nowhere.
It did.
And then this has sort of surpassed the expectations, which I think is due to the fact that we haven't had one in forever.
I say 6-7 years. It might even be longer. I think it's 6.
I think you're right.
Something like that. Yeah.
And
it's more than one hand.
And it's the fact that you've got into this world that is advanced, like with real life. Technology has advanced. We're at a completely different stage. There's loads of references. As eBay plays a big part of it.
You can see every logo. Nice.
Yeah, you can see
every logo possible, and somehow
there's a big Amazon thing.
They're somehow in the film, like Amazon, YouTube, Spotify, WhatsApp,
with the best Disney
Facebook,
bit.
Twitter. Yeah, the Disney.
He sends her when she's trying to get use her pop-up to get more viewers for the videos. He sends her to the Disney fan site, which she basically walks in. There's Disney princesses. She walks in. There's the Millennium Falcon. There's Avengers. There's everything. There's a Stan Lee cameo,
which was like, what the fuck?
She just bumps into someone and goes, "Sorry."
When we talked about 4 Marvel films, I know this doesn't count as a Marvel film. Number 4. Don't know. Number 4.
What for?
He said he did 4 more cameos. Going back to a previous episode topic, or
Oh, well, when I said that he'd filmed 4 things.
I don't know.
I don't
It's
know,
Marvel.
but he didn't have a voice in it. Like there wasn't.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the only thing that annoyed me is that he didn't speak.
Theory debunked. Okay. Yeah.
That's right, because we'll see a film tomorrow that definitely has him in it, and definitely probably speaking.
Yeesh. The
Spider-Man.
Man Spider.
Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse.
The
But yeah,
Spider.
that Disney bit's sort of like my favourite thing because she teaches the Disney princesses like.
And they actually
makes
have
them
a
chill
role.
out. Yeah,
It's not
no.
just a cameo.
It has all of them, and like they talk about like, oh, you're like definitely a princess. You've got to find your song, and that's part of her finding out what she wants to be, and that's like cringy but funny. There's a Groot cameo
Yeah.
where there's people questioning him in the forum, and it's just I am Groot, and then
Which is cool.
there's stormtroopers. It's great. It's very
With
well.
the Star Wars theme sort of blended in.
Yeah, a little bit, just sort of like under it, like just this there.
It wasn't the original track, obviously, because that's like too legal and copyrighted. But like,
but there's just a little hint of it.
you can hear the melody. You can hear the melody in the rhythm. It's beautiful. The moment was beautiful.
My favourite bit is sort of the backhanded reference at Pixar. So obviously there's been a full Disney film. Meredith from Brave is included in the princess lineup, and
Somehow.
she speaks with a heavy Scottish accent as opposed to in the film. Like, oh yeah, you go, yeah.
Sorry, Scottish
What
people.
does she say? I don't know. She's from the other studio. It's like, oh,
Oh shit! And
like
then,
we said, like they would like the way this would have like been topped off is if there was like a sort of under construction bit of that Disney part, and it was like it had all the stuff from Fox in it, like behind the curtain.
Yeah,
And they was like, oh no,
you're not allowed to come.
yeah,
through
not
it.
allowed to go in there yet.
Yeah. You see like a claw, would be like, no, you're not allowed to see it. This
Yeah,
is
it
like
just seemed like Wolverine,
in development.
just like Deadpool going like and just being PG-13.
But then the best thing after the Marvel stuff, there's a little dig at DC with like any of you oldies who watch a channel. If there's any like people over 30 or over 40 even, I don't know how old the age has to be for you to know your shit. But the 60s Adam West Batman show, there was a slight little, the theme to the
Oh yeah, because it was the
transition.
Yeah.
I sort of lost my shit at that. Considering it was all Marvel and all Disney.
Yeah, you did really laugh at that.
DC was just like, what?
It was like,
I laughed at everything. I did lost my face, my shoulder.
Really 100% enjoyable film. Like,
Yeah, just
go and see it.
really,
There's not
yes.
much. There's not much more really you can say apart from go and see it.
Yeah,
You're gonna have fun at the cinema, and it's a sequel worth seeing. It's not just same thing again like they do with those bloody minions. It's they've built on something, and they've made the world of Wreck-It Ralph bigger by bringing in the internet thing and the gaming aspects of that. It's like where they could go next. I would more than happily in 6 years' time watch Wreck-It Ralph 3.
Yeah, well, the fuck knows what it'd be about, but yeah, it'd basically be whatever happens in 6 years' time
Console
for
gaming,
us.
probably.
Console gaming.
Like VR gaming.
It'll be cross-platform multiplayer, cross-platform shit. It would be there'd be no.
It'd be about
consoles, no
Bitcoin.
PC. It'd be all Bitcoin. Yeah, it'd be like a combination of Bitcoin and cross-platforming, and like, whatever you play doesn't matter because we're all together. And we can
togetherness after Brexit.
Multiplayer.
I would rate Wreck-It Ralph a solid 8 out of 10.
Just out of lower expectation, I'd give it a 9. It really just made me think.
Because you went into it with like, not really expecting much.
I
And then
really,
you were sort of
really was.
You were hit by it.
Oh, really?
Oh, we had a lot of fun, like just in the cinema, just laughing and joking.
It was like, damn, it was a proper sleeper for me because I couldn't even remember what it was about. I just know it was a Disney film. It was like one of the only ones as I got into my teenage years that I liked because it was 6, 7 years, fucking however many years ago. I forgot what the film was about and what it was until I literally saw them two and I was like, oh, I remember it, but then I really didn't.
I remember.
Yeah, I'll come back to me.
I remember.
But then
So Wreck-It Ralph. Yeah. Ralph Breaks the Internet. Go and see it.
Breaks your expectations.
It does. It breaks you away. Speaking of breaking you away,
going
away, we're gonna get all the Doctor Who stuff out of the way first.
Yes. Because we ramble
we,
along
yeah,
about it.
we do. So we're going to get this out of the way before we get into Harry Potter. So we're going to be a bit longer than last week, probably, because that was only an hour and 10.
Yeah. Made a change, but I mean...
yeah. What did you think of the penultimate episode of this week's Doctor of Her?
Doctor Her or Who?
Or as I call it, Doctor...
Doctor... Doctor Meh.
So why the fuck are we still doing this
Doctor
dance
Watson.
again?
Doctor
Doctor,
Watson.
what the fuck's happening? Yeah, episode
Yeah.
9,
The
it takes
witch-
you away.
Oh shit, not the witch.
Which one was the last week?
Shit, no, I don't know.
God, Alan Cumming was great.
He was. Come back,
If the rumours are true about it being the Daleks, I want them to have James the First in it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh God, it's the Daleks. Right, just sexy little thing. Just
I
this
feel like
overzealous
I've met
count-
you before.
Oh, imagine if like James the First became Davros.
Oh!
Oh yeah.
Javros.
Javros.
Oh, yes.
But anyway, that's the week before.
That's
so
big fan fiction.
what are we saying about It Takes You Away episode 9? Plot.
Yeah.
They end up in Norway. The doctor,
They do, finally.
Doctor and gang end up in Norway.
Finally.
Boarded up house, discover a girl. I don't remember her name
Nor do
because this episode was fucking boring. I like bits of it. But
Yeah,
they
it
discover
did.
a blind girl. I don't remember what her name was. Her character was meant well, but
Mhm.
was poorly executed in my mind
Yeah.
because she was just sort of a one note of like, you just got to find my dad. My dad's missing. Daddy, where's dad? And
Yeah. Daddy,
her dad's gone. Yeah, basically, her dad's gone missing. They find out that there is a portal in the mirror. There's an in-between universe, and then another universe, a mirror universe.
It could have gone in a complete horror direction. It could have gone the Bloody
Well,
Mary.
it changes tone because it starts off as like a horror thing, like there's a monster in the woods, like, and then it's like
Yeah.
proper sci-fi, like.
The girl's like, did you
through
hear
the-
that?
yeah,
Doctor? There's something out
through the rocky
Mm.
enclave, we should call it, between worlds of the mirrors, and then you've got this just sort of like weird spacey sci-fi paradox thing because there's a mirror universe where it turns out
antimatter
the blind girl's mum is still alive,
in the other
or as
world.
we think, and the dad's been there because he wants to like still be with her, but it turns out it's this consciousness that used to be with us, but then like in our universe, but was separated because of the damage. So they make scenarios which we seem too good to be true to get people to want to exist in that universe. Which, fair enough, we haven't really seen a celestial kind of thing, so that's new. I'm really trying to draw. Like there is parts of it that are just like with a lot of this series. There are so many good ideas, but none of them are executed well.
Poorly executed, yeah.
Or just like half-assed, like go all in.
Yep.
And the Doctor did not one detail I really did like. I don't know whether it was
intentional.
I don't know whether it was in makeup or just flipping the footage, but it was when they went through the mirror universes, their hair was the other way, and so were their clothes. Like I really like that. That to me, I was like,
attention to detail, guys.
Yeah. So it was. I don't know whether that was
a design choice or a.
Well, I get it was like I get that obviously that was a clever design choice, but it's whether they actually did it, like just brushed it the other way, or like just styled it the other way, or it was flipping the footage. Because even like when you go in the house, and like even the shots are set up the other side, sort of thing. So
they're reflective.
I like that. That was a very good art style.
And realistic.
It was very simple.
Yeah.
A lot of it. This series has been small scale.
To me, the thing is going back to. I was somewhat intrigued with the whole. In the mirror, just the idea of going through a mirror, not necessarily to another world, and I wasn't expecting the in-between world crap, but just like
there's a nice character called whatever his name was in Ribbons. Ribbons.
Ribbons.
I was going to say socks, but Ribbons.
He had a pet called Socks. No, I was intrigued for the majority of the episode. Like you say, it was very boring, very badly executed and dull. But at the same time, I sort of thought, oh, this is like one of the only episodes which I kind of did want to watch.
There's so many good things, but they just don't do it all.
And then when it comes to the ending,
So the Celestial Universe takes the foot. Oh yeah, really the thing I liked that it looked like we'd been building towards, but they sort of it would have worked if they hadn't have dropped it
half-assed it, like you said a minute ago.
Because there's a lot of Graham and Grace that propels him into adventures.
She was probably the best thing about it. Her in it.
Shirley
she was awesome.
Fantastic. Because we obviously know that Graham and Ryan, their journey has been propelled by the death of their respective man/wife, Grace. So, and there was a lot of sort of build up towards that, and then it's sort of got
If you-
dropped for a couple of episodes.
If
so-
you've been listening to the podcast, we
Yeah,
discuss
you know.
it every week. Yeah.
Exactly, that's our thing. What are we going to do after next week?
No. You pick more shitty classic serials and I'll watch them out of continuity. Just don't
Should we do? Well,
watch
no,
them.
because I wanted to save reviews for other videos.
Oh,
Because
oh.
new content, new year, you know what I mean?
Oh, they can hide it.
And yeah, so don't mind me, I'm just eating my advent calendars.
Yeah, 2. Fucking 2.
Yeah, so Grace appears in the mirror universe because obviously trying to tempt Graham. So the obvious, like, we get the passing of the grief is what I'm going to call it, because he says he doesn't just want to, when he says at the end of Arrows in the UK, I don't want to just sit around and wait for the grief to go away.
Yeah.
This was very much the moment where Graham let go of Grace and became more just himself.
Mm-hmm. He really did sort of come on his own, come to his shell in this one. He had the most
Which
to do.
I would have liked even more. Like, I liked it. I liked that moment. I would have liked it even more if they hadn't have dropped it for a couple of weeks, because there is.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think after Saranga Conundrum, there
Mm.
hasn't really been a reference to Grace. I mean,
Nope.
correct me if I'm wrong, audience, please.
That I can think.
But I can't really think of. I think those first 5 definitely, maybe 6. You have like that whole thing, the growth between not just like them two on like Graham on his own, but also Ryan and them together, and then everything on top of that.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
But
Mm.
that's what it kind of felt like. Oh, we're putting this in.
Mm,
She's
yeah.
back. You thought we'd forgotten, but
It's like, wait, shit, this is the moment we've been preparing for. Fuck, do it.
it's like, why? Why?
It's like, fuck, we've got to let it not slide into next week. We must insert it here.
Yeah.
It didn't feel real. It felt
yeah.
forced.
It did feel quite forced, which is unfortunate. But Sharon D. Clark and Bradley Walsh, my bloody god,
What a couple.
great man.
What a good actors as well. Like, it was hard. It was real. It was emotional. I don't cry, but it almost made me cry. I was like,
It was nice, and there was a nice little another sort of monkey wrenched in bit of character growth when Ryan finally called Graham Grandad.
which was very
That was very sweet. I like, if executed better, I
It
would
would-
have like wept like a child.
Yeah.
But it was quite nice to just sort of go, Grandad. I literally did get a bit of goosebumps and be like, ah.
In that moment, in the very moment, like,
But
oh.
what interests me is they're doing this before the finale.
Mm-hmm.
So
What the hell is
going to happen
finale?
between all these people
Yeah, like,
in the finale?
is the finale going to be high stakes? Is it going to be like an actual finale?
I think you have to have high stakes because,
Yeah.
like we've said before, like especially the past couple of weeks, is that like rewatchability is like
minimal.
it's not just a mainstay of like TV or just this.
With most
like,
shows,
it's
yeah.
most shows and movies. It's like what you get out of it the second time, or what it means for the bigger story. Like,
You have to.
And
yeah,
there is-
every good key franchise. Sorry to cut you off, but you have to watch
No,
at
fine.
least more than once. That's why.
well,
they're
all good things
longevity.
all good things you enjoy. You watch more than once, so there has to be either you see the growth of characters, or you can find something different in it.
Yeah, you miss things the first time. You think, oh, that's cool, or whatever. Yeah, you if it's things you like, you're going to watch it again.
Oh yeah.
That's
But so you want this is like, cause I can still watch series 1 and love every single thing and how the Doctor starts and ends that series.
Yep.
Whereas with this, there is no growth. I
Nope.
really don't like. We've done this. We're going to go through a whole Doctor review once the series is over. So I don't, and the amount of times we've
Like
talked
it or
about
not.
it, like I really, I am reviewing whether you like it or
Or
not.
not.
Petty. Straight down the barrel of the camera. Change, my dear, and it
Insert
seems
creepy
not a
smile.
moment too
Insert
soon.
creepy smile here.
Insert Colin Baker's. If Colin Baker listens to this, I would love to get him on. I would.
Yeah, please.
I have. He is the Doctor I have the most questions for. Like,
oh,
like
yeah.
what the fuck? Why did they make you wear that coat?
Yeah, there is a story. I think
There is
but,
stories,
like,
but for another time, perhaps. Yeah, I just feel like I don't want to bang on about it, but there is not really a lot you're getting out of it because everyone's still sort of the same. There's a bit more development. Jazz is mainly you get Jazz. Yaz. Sorry,
useless.
long day.
Yaz basically is
It-
Spanish for useless.
No, Yaz. Yeah, oh, she's not fucking Spanish. Yaz
No, but-
basically gives all of her backstory and character growth through exposition, which is lazy, to
Mhm.
say the least. But
Yeah.
you know, like I honestly think Series 12. We've confirmed that Jodie's in it.
Yeah.
So that's good. Hopefully,
I guess.
because and the New Year special is rumoured to have the Daleks in it. So we're going to round off this Doctor Who news with series. So I would be fine with the Daleks being in Easter, in New Year's in New Year's special. I kind of made reference to that as a prediction at the beginning. We said that we thought that the Daleks would then be included at some point.
Because of the old Terry Nation contract, which I didn't even fucking know was a thing,
Yeah.
but it makes sense when you said it, because it is a genuine
It is that kind of thing.
It is a pattern.
But, yeah, so, and it's given her a year of, No Monsters, and it's a way to get the audience viewing figures up for New Year's.
And like I said last week...
They're not back, they're fine. Have you read all... Listen, do me a favour. Watch Mr. TARDIS Review's breakdown of the viewing figures.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, because he breaks them down. So he'll break them down on the. He'll do the overnights, then he does the 7 days the next week when he does the overnights of the next one.
I see.
And now that we've got like the 28, so like the final viewing figures for like the first 4, he's like gone through those as well.
Mm-hmm.
He knows his stuff. The viewing figures are not shit. They're better.
Okay.
It's just I think now audience appreciation of just like we need some better things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I think Series 12 will be it will be the make or break of Chibbers, because that's when he will go for old villains,
the classics. Yeah. He will continue.
I think if we get Daleks on New Year's Day, we're not getting them in Series 12. I think he is of that attitude, which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
I want like the classics. Like I want it to feel like a treat, because
exactly.
After Destiny, it was like you had to wait like most of the time late into a Doctor's run or midway through.
Destiny of the Daleks?
After Destiny of the Daleks, you had to wait into a Doctor's run for them to face the Daleks, and it was like, oh, this is a nice treat. Like we finally get to see them face off against the Daleks instead of like keep ramming them down our throats.
Yes,
I'd like a good Cyberman story, but I don't want them to be the finale, because I think too many fucking Cybermen for Capaldi.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Like you've said, I'd be up for a good Sontaran story.
Yeah, because that's just my personal hypothesis. Just to get them back as villains, and because they've done it with Ice Warriors, they've done it with every other insert name here. I can't think of villains off the top of my head, but they've done it with everybody. But the Sontarans is really like the one big villain in my eyes that I just want to see.
They've had one
back.
They've had, if you think about it, they've had one major story when they're the villain in
Series 4.
in the New Who era.
Sky and
Sontaran, Stratagem, and Poison Sky.
That's it. It's Sontaran Sky. Yeah.
So apart from that, nothing.
They're not in Sarah Jane, are they?
They're in Sarah Jane. They feature more in that, which is like that's fine.
Yeah.
Have you watched Sarah Jane yet?
No, that's the only thing I haven't done. But
why don't we, after Doctor Who has ended,
we'll do Sarah Jane?
Should we do Sarah Jane and Torchwood?
Yeah, Torchwood I should hopefully be getting for Christmas. Ideally.
That's good.
I've got the first season borrowed from a friend. I'll watch that.
Wait for John Barrowman to stay in the jungle.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you're listening to this on Sunday, it's the final, so like it's already finished.
Already?
Yeah, it's the final on Sunday.
I thought it was on for longer. I didn't know it was already ending.
It's the last. They only do 3 weeks, and it's
That's it already.
Yeah.
God. Damn boy.
Bye. Bye.
Briefly, rumour about that particular fellow.
Yes.
I thought he might be returning, but there's a new character leak in the scripts that his daughter might be in it.
Oh, what, in Star Wars Episode 9?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is in it.
You did read it.
He is in it, because we talked about this. This is when we still filmed at Matt's house. Yeah.
Yeah, but there was a thing literally like I saw this week where
brief tangent.
A daughter or a new female member got leaked, and it said like the name dropped. I can't think of the name, but basically it's Lando's daughter.
That's pretty cool.
Which is something. Yeah, I just thought I'd mention it because I read it and I thought it's something.
Yeah. So anyway, let's round off Doctor Who and get into Harry Potter. So I think with that confirmed with a confirmed series 12, I think he'll iron out all the flaws, sort of streamline what we liked, what we didn't like,
everything.
get rid of it all. No,
Rebirth.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna see what my funds are and pre-order the Series 11 Steelbook that's due out in Jan. Monday we get the old season 19.
Yay, the good season, not the crappy E-Space stuff. Yeah.
And then I need to pre-order for.
I need 80 because it's gone down now, hasn't it? It went down to retail price. It's
Has it?
$39.99. Actually, no, we'll do it on the air. Fuck it. We'll do it on the air.
Is this going to become a tradition? We pre-order all the Doctor Who collection boxes on air.
Yeah, we'll do it.
So that comes out. Then we've got Macroterra.
Yes, which
we'll go into more. You heard us ranting about reconstructed Doctor Who, so you don't need to hear it again. But yeah, Macroterra's coming out. Troughton story.
A lost story in over 50 years is finally getting released.
Yes. Speaking of lost stories getting released,
Mm-hmm.
there once was a boy named Harry.
And his surname
Potter.
Did it Trotter?
Okay, so for Fantastic Beasts: Crimes of Grindlewald, we are now going to
Done. Yeah,
go
doing
through and do it. I'm just logging into the Gmail to see if I've got any emails.
Purchased.
What do, we're going to go through the Harry Potter films. So
Yeah.
Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Yes. Nicholas
Flamel. Harry, first year at Hogwarts.
More magical film. Inspired millions.
It's sort of like when you go back to I love and hate rewatching Harry Potter because it's the magical journey of going back to that world, but then you know that it doesn't last long and pretty soon you're on the way to it's over. And then with Fantastic Beasts you can go back even further and it just doesn't make any fucking sense why McGonagall's alive.
I know! JK. Damn you, JK.
Ruining her own material. But Philosopher's Stone, Harry, got to find the Philosopher's there's rooms of the Philosopher's Stone, Dumbledore, Harry gets sent to Hogwarts, don't want to be in Slytherin.
And not Slytherin.
Not Slytherin, eh? Who's the guy that plays the hat? Because he was great. You could be great, you know. A Slytherin could help you on the way to greatness. On the way to greatness. There's no doubt about that.
Your parents will be nobody.
A lot of the things that make you happy is art. When you get hello Harry.
Hello Harry.
When Hagrid comes and picks him up, and it's the owl, and it's the music, and it's all happy, and it's all cheering. It doesn't last. What? We'll go through what our favourites and least favourites are, but I really do like this one. Just purely sentimental reasons, because obviously I have all the books.
Oh great!
Yeah, I read them all. Before I did the reading, they were read to me.
All right.
So I have a real sort of strong connection to these stories. At the time, I like watching the films, but I think going back on it because I plan on rereading the books. But I just love the detail, just that world that's built and how sort of closely it was brought to life in the films. Especially those first two are very much sort of almost direct adaptations as close as they can. Apart from Peeves the Poltergeist.
Yeah,
they cut
even
his
in the
scenes,
games. He's in the games, but he's nowhere to be touched and mentioned and referenced.
Well, they cut his scenes in the film.
They do. Oh, so he was.
They filmed it. Yeah, it was Rick Mell. Rick Mell did it.
Oh.
They cut his scenes as Peeves. I think that would have been amazing.
Perfection.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite as huge and as vast as the world of Harry Potter and the story of it is. It's not really that much of a complicated film. It's very easy to watch.
It is, because even a 3-year-old me still thought it was simple. Going back to it a few years ago.
Yeah, it's very sort of it's not it's not really exposition heavy. I mean,
it really isn't. No.
I mean, there's a lot of that stuff where they talk about their Philosopher's Stone and living that, but there's a lot of doing and
less jibber jabber, which seems to be the
lot
main
of action, which
motif.
gets more there's not a lot of wand and spells. It's more sort of the scale and the scope and what the
discovery
and the world and what it looks like.
Discovering, yeah.
I would give we're gonna rate them as well. Philosopher's Stone. I'd give it a solid 7.
Yeah.
Maybe an 8. There's room for an 8. You know what? Fuck it. 8.
7.5. Yeah, an 8. Because
Okay.
I never. It was one of. Sorry, it was one of them where I didn't get the full scale of it when I was younger, but then when I last rewatched them, it was like, holy shit.
You learn,
without
it's
this
one of those
film-
things that you learn
Without
to
this film,
appreciate
like,
more and more.
you do as you rewatch it. Again, rewatching is key, folks.
Rewatching is key to everything.
It really is.
It really is. Oh yeah, what was I doing? Amazon.
Especially with Netflix.
Oh,
How the fuck
hang on,
everyone
can you
get
check my
everything?
bank balance first?
Oh dear, minus 500.
Oh, 2 weeks till payday. Come on.
to
Come on! What's my password? Not gonna say that out on the air.
Password. That's the Harry Potter
Password
thing, isn't
is
it?
Stephen Toast.
Oh, what the fuck is the Harry Potter fat lady password?
Oh, the fat lady, the portrait of the fat lady.
Yeah, because like it was in the games, or she says it in the film. She's like password, and it changes as I think it's like one of the games. It changes as you go further in the game.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think what he was.
Well, the Harry Potter games are great. We need to do like
All of them are cool.
playthroughs of that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. The second one directed by Christopher Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
So they're back to back, very similar cinematic styles.
Almost same, yeah, literally.
They're almost the same film.
Very are, yeah.
Which
Except
is why I
it-
think I like this one less.
Really?
I think what saves Philosopher's Stone is the fact that it's the beginning and is that introduction
Yeah,
to the world.
you'll
Because
find
when you
it,
look at, I
yeah.
think, compared to the rest of the Harry Potter universe, there is more to be had visually, there's more to be had storytelling-wise and character-wise.
Uh-huh.
But you can't beat that first time they're rowing in the lake to Hogwarts.
Oh no, yeah.
Whereas with this,
yeah.
there's obviously they've upped the thing with they've got the spiders, Aragorn.
Aragorn!
Harry starts to talk to snakes. Wonders if he's the
Oh,
heir of
so Tom-
Slytherin.
Yeah.
Which is a nice little nod back to the first one. Like so that they introduced it in that. Like I once even goes like I set a python on my cousin Dudley at the zoo once.
Yeah.
But loads of people here can do it.
Mm.
So everyone's worried. There's a creature that's petrifying everyone. Turns out to be the basilisk.
Yeah. And then, like, the main twist being that.
Mrs. Norris gets petrified. They have to try and find.
Yeah.
Even everything. The good thing is that everything that's introduced is relevant because, like, even the mandrakes in herbology, they're what's used for the
petrify things.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of it makes sense. Like, if it was in a modern Netflix serial, you'd think, what is the point of having all this shit in? But then, the older style of references and things that you have to pay attention to is so much better then.
Yes,
Like
I
I just
want
said,
to
if
pre-order.
If you had all these scenes in a Netflix serial, you'd be like, well, what's the point of that scene? What would be the point of that scene? Yes,
Expected to arrive after Christmas. Well, it doesn't get released until February 25th. You fucking idiot.
Should have said Easter. Yeah. Everything makes sense regardless. When you watch the first one with the snake in the zoo, you think, it makes no sense. How's that ever going to come up ever again?
Even in, and we'll get to this, like with the end one, when stuff like back to the beginning of Harry Potter's young life.
Or lives, who knows?
Lives, yeah.
Might have had multiple.
I've had many faces, many lives.
Yeah, might have had multiple.
Eddie Redmayne's just doing a really crap Matt Smith impression. Anyway,
Ooh, shots fired.
Yeah, I like sort of how they expand the teaching staff. You get more, and you get more time with Dumbledore. I wish we'd sort of had more time with Richard Harris because unfortunately, it's due to ill health. This is his first. This is his last one.
Yeah,
the other one was his first, and he. The thing about his Dumbledore is he's very much more of an enigma than Gambon. It's sort of like he just sort of floats in and out, and you don't really see him. That's the thing. It's just like he's mentioned more in passing.
He isn't as plot heavy. He isn't as focused, but he's a character.
But I feel like if he'd have carried on that, they would have had to do more of that with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still a good film. I think
we haven't even mentioned about Riddle.
Oh yeah, Tom Riddle, and he has a diary with the Chamber of Secrets because he's been controlling Ginny, and that turns out later to be a Horcrux.
Yeah, see,
Which is
relevant.
nice.
Yeah, relevant.
Later
Like,
down the
going
line.
back to my point earlier, like anything you think, what would be the point of that? But it'd be like, relevant.
There is
Fights
Tom Riddle again and fights the giant snake. Do you know what I've
the
really...
Polyjuice potion.
Yeah, Polyjuice potion scene
was
where
magical.
they
Hilarious.
change and Hermione accidentally changes into a cat, which all magical elements that we've introduced
That's
that will
childhood
come back
memories
later.
coming
Good, enjoyable film, a lot of fun. It's arguably the series starts getting dark from the first one, but I think this is still
the
quite
first,
light.
It's
and
hint. It's hinted.
Oh yeah,
at.
it's all very nuanced in these first two.
The scenes with Riddle when he gets the diary and you find out about even the Hagrid's past and stuff, and just the way Tom Riddle seems to be like a real nonce. Like, what if you thought Malfoy was bad? Tom Riddle is like Malfoy times 4. Like, he's a real nonce.
Mm-hmm.
Even just finding out about Hagrid and like he has a bit of a darkish past, and he isn't as a friendly giant that lives in Hogwarts. He finding out that stuff is like the first sort of impression of it being a bit darkish, and you sort of feel a lot of sympathy for Hagrid, but it gets into that mature-ish tone with Riddle, and I feel like I said, the first film's universally better, but Riddle was maybe one of the things that resembled with me the most when I think of the early Potters, because I just liked his character and how dark he took it temporarily. Because then we get into number 3, and that's when shit gets flipped. Yeah. Heads becomes tails.
What would you give Chamber? I think I'd give this a 7. I think I enjoyed this one the least.
Well, out of all of them?
Actually, no, I don't enjoy this one the least. I think it's... I don't love it as much as others.
Goblet of Fire.
Definitely Harry Part 1.
Yeah.
I think that it is time to... Yeah, what's your number? What are you saying?
7.5.
7.5.
Even though some of it is really
okay, but...
Oh, we haven't even mentioned Lockhart. We didn't mention Lockhart.
Yeah, good Lockhart. Bloody Kenneth Branagh. He's amazing. Miriam Margolyes as Professor Sprout.
He's the only real character that doesn't ever come up again. He's like irrelevant.
He has an end credit scene, though.
End credits.
There's an end credit scene in the Harry Potter film.
Did he?
Yeah, because he goes. He's back at the bookshop and he's got one called "Who Am I?" And it's just him in a straitjacket.
What happens to him? Oh, cool. Oh, God. I never knew
he
that.
Gets his memory wiped.
Never knew that. See, that's why I really do need to own them and just rewatch them fully as an adult. Because it's still back when I was like 13.
Pre-ordered.
Oh, we went to 4K.
The Doctor Who Complete Series 11 is temporarily out of stock.
Oh shit, is it? Oh no.
Shit.
Uh-oh.
I will get it. Even if I just have to get it, and then it's just going to annoy me.
Get it.
It's just going to annoy me now.
Get it.
We get on to Trez, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I'm just going to say now, my favourite Harry Potter film of all time.
Yep, the one I've watched most easily. The Prisoner of
Azkaban.
Childhood. Prisoner of Childhood getting crushed.
I love this one because it's directed by Alfonso Cuarón.
Yes.
So it's a different style, but he builds on the visual world that we've been given by Chris Columbus, and changed it like the
colour tone as well is very dark.
It's very sort of, instead of sort of like this warm sort of glow that you get from everything, it's very more sort of like neutralised in the way that like the colour palette is, and we almost sound professional.
I know, right?
Quite good. We're professional.
The only thing we're missing is a desk and a notepad and table and shit. But
and a camera, and apart from that,
our faces
and our budgets. And the story is obviously about the Prisoner of Azkaban, Sirius Black, and apparently involved in betraying Harry's parents and giving them up to Voldemort.
What a bastard!
But it turns out that he was he's Harry's godfather, so it's the last family he has left.
He's the Al Capone of the Potters.
And we learn through the sort of creepy, when you think about it, that the rat on Ron's crotch was actually an old man with a finger missing, Peter Pettigrew.
That is how I knew what the word paedophile meant. From that moment.
But Timothy Spall, who played him, is not a paedophile, we can confirm. Even though,
like, no offence, Makeup Department, you really did make him look like a dodgy motherfucker.
That's the whole
Shout
thing.
out to Timothy Spall.
Timothy Spall.
Schmall.
Fucking Gary Oldman as Sirius Black. I love that character brought to life in that way. Like, there are very few actors that become the definition of a character.
As you've got a better opinion because you've read the books. Like, is he literally like the right?
For what I thought of him,
yeah.
I wasn't sure watching the first time I watched, but then it's like, oh yeah, like
It's definitely him ripped from
serious.
the book.
That's serious. That's sort of like the heart of his character, especially because the only problem is with that thing is a lot of the time it is you're not really letting Sirius speak, whereas if he just had spoken it, you'd have learned like, he's not evil.
Yeah. It's
whereas instead of him like trying to prove his innocence, it's just him sort of like he's been accused of this, but we can't tell you whether it's true or not because we're trying to do a fake out. Because apparently it was Lupin that was Lupin as well. David Lewis as Lupin, amazing, fucking amazing.
He's stuck with
such a good cast, and he comes back. He's in the order of the
of the birds.
Order of the
Dark
Order
Phoenix.
of the Firebird.
The Dark Phoenix.
The Order of X-Men Dark Phoenix. And so like there are very few like actors that become the definitive version of a character. I think you have that with RDJ and Iron Man. I think you have that with Hugh Jackman and Wolverine.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yep.
I don't think that you could recast anyone in those Harry Potter films and and improve on it. I think they
were the
every
characters.
single person in that is spot on. Like fucking Lupin's
the creme
great.
de la creme. Yeah.
Like Snape,
Untouchable.
fucking
Alan Rickman. Oh.
Alan Rickman.
See,
Resting
I
Days.
appreciated as I got older, and I was
you really learned to appreciate the Snape, didn't you?
Yes, no, Alan Rickman. What a fucking hateful bastard as a kid. But then when you
but then when you get to the end, then you learn what it's all about.
Like,
But yes, I love the story and sort of like the revelation and the time travelling aspect because they use Hermione's time turner because she's been trying to go to all of her classes, even the ones that start at the same time. So Bosk, and she's just like. It introduced this whole new level, and obviously this is the first film with Gambon as Dumbledore, and I think rightly so. He's not really used a lot. He's sort of like in the Quidditch game stops Harry with Dementors.
I think he's in this one the least, isn't he? Maybe.
I think it's up for debate. We'll have to get our facts on that. But yeah, he's sort of like at the game. Then he's at the hospital when Ron's leg gets bitten by Sirius in his Animagus form.
Yeah.
And at the execution. Scare quotes of Buckbeak, which they say through the time turner.
What's
by doing that because then events have to happen. There's the amazing punching Malfoy in the face from Hermione.
Which you get to see again with the whole.
There's a lot of growth. There's a lot of sort of like very much a coming of age feel because they are instead of being kids, it's like they're not.
It's
kids
like
anymore.
this is like the teenage puberty film. This is when they.
It's like this is the one that's gonna
transition.
This world will not stay the same, and this will grow. And I think Alfonso does amazing in it.
Visually, dialoguely, scripturally,
visually, like everything.
It really is a dark film.
Oh yeah, but not as dark as the next one.
Yeah,
because I think this is when you know that
this ain't a kids' film no more.
This ain't your daddy's Harry Potter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, final rating, 10 out of 10.
No, 10, fuck it, yeah, just 10, yeah, there's no...
Favourite Harry Potter film?
Yeah.
Ever.
Best game, I want to say as well?
I had a sick game.
He did.
I really did, I liked the Order of the Phoenix one, but it was just hard to recruit people for Dumbledore's army.
Yeah.
Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fear.
Fear? Yeah, the Goblet of Fear.
And we're gonna let it burn, burn, burn. This, Voldemort, Prince of Azkaban, only film without Voldemort in it.
Ah, yeah.
Not even mentioned, I don't think.
No.
Which is also nice because we get a big break from old Big Nose or No Nose.
Or young boy in the book.
Goblet of Fire is takes place obviously like the next year. Fourth year at Hogwarts. Now it's Mad Eye Moody. There's the Triwizard Tournament between the three schools of Hogwarts, Beauxbatons and Durmstrang. I'm surprised I remembered those names. It's been a while since I watched all those.
Durmstrang. Yeah.
Victor Crumb, Fleur de Claw, and Cedric are chosen by the Goblet of Fire to take part in the
Magic
Triwizard Tournament. So it's basically like child torture in the Saw Maze. And yeah, because seriously, health and safety in the Wizarding World must be really crap because a lot of dangerous shit. There's a fourth name spat up in the old...
And guess whose it is?
It's Hagrid.
Draco Malfoy.
No, it's Harry. Harry's name obviously comes out the goblet.
Daniel
too.
Radcliffe.
If you know the books and you know the films, which you will do, probably watching this because you're a nerdy bastard like us,
Who is
you know what it is.
Yeah.
This is where sort of there's a lot of more diverging because Dobby would have been in this one. He would have been in every single one apart from the first and third because he's like when he has that little wizard, like he has that sort of little house elf rights group and stuff like that. It's like, that would have been cool.
What do you mean he's in every? Is he in every book?
He's in every book apart from the first one and the third one.
But in the films, he's only in
Second
Secrets,
and
Phoenix.
Chamber of Secrets. No, he's only in Chamber of Secrets and Deathly Hallows Part 1.
But he's in all the... I didn't even know that. So he's in virtually every book.
Yeah, because he runs this house elf society and he has like this girl house elf that he fancies. And like he tries to get rights for house elves and stuff like that.
What?
And like, Hermione helps him. And he's the one that gets, if I remember correctly, he is the one in the book that gives Harry the gillyweed for him to breathe underwater in the first trial, but in the film it's Neville.
What? Oh, okay, so clearly I've not read the books, but I didn't know there was so much more to Dobby.
So much more. There's so much more to the story, man.
And everything. Yeah, no, but...
We know what you're going to be reading.
Yeah, no, genuinely, it'd be one of them few books I would happily read at some point in my life. I want to read them all.
I think you should.
Genuinely would.
Get on that after Christmas. That can be your homework.
Yeah, wow. That should be mind blown, folks. You know, one person at a time, one viewer, one...
I guess one book can make a difference. Excelsior.
Touching one life at a time.
I miss Stanley.
You don't. It's not the same guy.
Yeah, it's a lot darker, this one. There's the beautiful sort of moments at the Quidditch World Cup.
Yeah.
I think that gets the beginning.
Better.
There's David Tennant, like, undercover in a leather jacket. Like, who doesn't want that?
Pre-Doctor
Polyjuice Potion. Yeah, it was pre, yeah. This was like the last, like...
I think it was his last real role before Doctor Who. Or it was
Casanova.
Same...
It was 2005.
Same year,
it was 2005, yeah, so he would have been filming...
Who?
He would have been filming, like, Regeneration and beginning of series-ish around this time. But, great, yeah, obviously, like, that's another great bloody addition to the cast, like having David Tennant as a villain.
Yeah.
Then you've got, like, Roger Lloyd Pack as Barty Crouch Sr. There's, I forget the man who plays Fudge, because we get a real look into the Minister of Magic this time, because he's briefly seen at the beginning of Azkaban.
He is.
Oh, we didn't mention Lenny Henry in the bus scene in Azkaban, but that's great.
Oh, yes, that's like, yeah.
It's gonna be a bumpy ride. Take it away, Ernie. I love that.
Take it away.
Then there is... Yeah, there's a lot of those fun moments where it quickly gets dark and you realise that there is more to this than appears, because Harry's name ends up in the goblet. He has to take part. Ron thinks that he's doing it for fame. There's, like, arguments. There's girls, because obviously they fancy Fleur because she's French. I don't know, like all the Beauxbatons people. Hagrid has a nice little love story with Madame Maxine from Beauxbatons. She's the headmistress of that, because they're both giant. I forget the woman who plays her because she's a famous actress, but she's great. Robbie Coltrane's just great, man. As Hagrid, he's just so good. What else? And obviously the revelation that Voldemort's back. Because Harry has a lot of nightmares about this old man living in a house and getting killed by Voldemort and his followers. And it turns out that that was true.
Yeah.
Like he was just seeing, I forget, is it clarimancy or something like that? Like what's the thing like where you can see into people's minds? Because I know the woman in Goldie from Fantastic Beasts can read minds, but there's that thing where you can like sort of penetrate people's minds and see what they're seeing, because Voldemort and Harry sort of have that back and forth.
They do.
And Voldemort does it to spy on Harry and sort of makes him see stuff that he wants to. I forget the name of it. Nerds don't hurt us. But
something. Yeah, sorry. Don't get triggered.
But yeah, that's good. Yeah, and then leads to the final trial where the cup was a portkey, and Harry and Cedric get transported to the graveyard in the house grounds of the house that he'd seen of the old man dying, and Voldemort gets brought back to life at the death of
the perverted rat, Peter
Pettigrew. By Peter Pettigrew,
the perverted rat,
who uses blood from the enemy and bone from the father and hand
I'm surprised he didn't do the
Sacri-
Holy Cross.
sacrificed his hand and everything to bring
Mm.
Voldemort back. Cedric gets killed,
Axed, beheaded, begone.
divorced, beheaded, and died. That's Henry VIII.
Yeah.
And all that shizer.
Then he
Leading
comes,
to a nice little moment where the wand, we get sort of like the first instinct that the wands may not let them hurt each other because of wand law being derived from the same phoenix.
Yes.
Where the sparks create the ghosts of all the people killed by the wand, including the old man Cedric and his parents, and they hold Voldemort back so he can get back to the Portkey and escape. Turns out that this whole time, bloody Mad-Eye Moody, who is Brendan Gleeson, plays magnificently.
Oh yeah.
He is David Tennant in disguise with Apology Potion, which
he's a doctor about being a doctor.
11th Doctor confirmed. He was the real 11th Doctor all along. And he was an evil bastard. But, yes, and they get him good. But no one believes that Voldemort's returning. Until we get to our next film.
So it's just like little dig into the Fantastic Beasts. We all know what happened with Tennant and Mad-Eye Moody, but what happened with...
Grindelwald and Graves.
Just as a sudden little
It's
thing.
just, I think it's just a spell. We'll get on to that. We're getting there, Connor.
What if I'd bring it up?
It's already over an hour. We need to hurry this up. Order the Phoenix.
God.
So we open with Harry at home with... Is it the swings with Dudley?
It is the swings.
Yes, the summer off.
And I do like to be beside Shisha.
No one in the Wizarding world believes him about Voldemort. There is suddenly Dudley bullying him when he's with his mates. Then there is the sky goes grey and Dementors show up, and Harry saves him using the Patronus charm, but then he's called in because he's using underage magic outside of school, so he has to go. He has to go and attend his ministry hearing, and who shows up and sorts it all out? Old Dumbledore. And so, but Dumbledore's a bit distant with Harry this year because every time Harry seems like he needs him, he disappears.
Yes, he does a Wingardium Leviosa.
Yeah, he just gets the fuck out of there. And
an apparition.
A lot of it is people struggling to believe or come to terms with the fact that Voldemort's back. So Harry forms his secret society, akin to the aforementioned Order of the Phoenix, because that's what all the adult wizards do, because that's Dumbledore's group. Because they know the truth and they believe Harry, and then Harry starts it within the school so that if and when this war does start, people know how to defend themselves. Because
if it's just a when, because we all know everyone. Well, they know
it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But even I'm saying for the people that don't believe that it was coming.
By the next film, they'd be fucked.
By the end of this film, they know.
Yeah, everyone knows.
Knew.
There's no point hiding no more.
He formed because the real Defence Against Dark Arts teacher now we have Dolores Umbridge is not teaching.
Nothing.
He's not teaching.
She does
Defence Against the Dark Arts. She drives Dumbledore out because she's trying to neuter. The Ministry are using her to neuter the rumours that Voldemort's back and make Dumbledore out that he's going crazy and trying to take power from the Ministry and go for the Minister of Magic position when he's not.
Yeah.
Dumbledore takes credit for all of the things that Harry's doing.
But what a thing to accuse him of anyway! Why would they think Dumbledore is doing that?
Although they're not. They don't think he's doing that. They're making other people think he's doing that because then that makes the Ministry seem trustworthy.
Yeah.
But even though the Ministry aligns him, because they don't want this sort of.
They don't want.
They don't want the rumor of him coming back. They don't want fear mongering.
Yeah.
They don't want him. He's coming back.
Good morals, but badly executed.
Yeah. Just like Series 11. And so they don't want people to sort of get behind this idea that Voldemort is coming back. They still want to have control over what the wizarding people believe and fear and stuff like that. They don't want them to think for a minute that Voldemort is actually coming back, because if they think that, then they've lost him, and they don't want to admit it themselves, I think, because they don't want another war. But there's a lot of the pre-aforementioned reading of minds, because there's a strong link that we don't find out until later on in the movies that draws Harry and Voldemort together. And then there's obviously the forming of the group. They get caught. Dumbledore takes credit for it, but disappears.
He does.
They
Again.
go to the Ministry because Harry has the vision of Sirius, his only family member, getting killed, and he doesn't want that because he's got no one left. But it turns out Voldemort wanted him to see that because he knew he'd come, because there's a prophecy that must only be collected by one of them.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Takes
The
some
chosen
of the DA he takes with them. There's a
You were
fight.
the chosen one, Potter.
There's a fight that quickly gets brought to an end because the Death Eaters overpower the school kids, and then the Order of the Phoenix show up.
Yeah.
And the big fight ensues, but Sirius Black is killed
Gary Oldman no more.
by his cousin Bellatrix Lestrange.
What a bitch. Helena Bonham Carter.
Oh, I
What a
killed
bitch.
Sirius Black. You're gonna get me, Potter. You're gonna get me.
Oh, yeah. What a bitch.
Fucker. Ah,
Damn.
God.
What a
And
woman.
Harry's obviously broken, but the Ministry see Voldemort and can no longer deny to the world that he's not back, because everyone has now seen him. Everyone knows.
At that moment, they knew they
Everyone
fucked
must
up.
prepare. I like this. This is one was directed by David Yates, and now the only director in the Harry
Yeah, 'cause
Potter universe.
he did it from that point onwards. Didn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah.
Because Mike Newell did. We forgot to mention he did.
The first one.
He did. No, Mike Newell did the fourth one, Goblet of Fire. The
The
first two were
whole-
Christopher Columbus. The other one was Alfonso Cuarón.
I thought David Yates was involved from Goblet of Fire.
No, Mike Newell was.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I
Yeah,
digress.
yeah, this is your field, not mine.
A lot of fun. I do like Order of the Phoenix. There is, it's more of a growth piece about the characters, and it's, the loss that they are suffering and the loss that is yet to come,
Heavily,
which
yeah.
is unfortunate.
Underline the bit to come. Underline that.
Not long now.
No, but I just going. The previous two films being dark and adult are not really about the magic-y in Hogwarts. Although it's not very spelly and, oh look, we're discovering Hogwarts. It feels like they were trying to be an adult and darky because that's the way the films were. But they did have the familiarity of the first two films in terms of the spelling and having fun and doing new shit.
Yeah.
Because 3 and 4 were very much right. We can't really muck around because shit's going to happen and we don't know what's going to happen. Whereas 5, it's like, right, we've got to train, we've got to prepare, let's go do what we did when we were younger and enhance our skills.
Mhm.
It felt very much like a bit of, like, say, a Blast from the Past, a little bit, but done in an adult and darkish way, like it should have done. So that's what I quite admire about this one, because it's got the perfect blend. It's realism and dark, but it's still got the nostalgic, fun-loving, magical bit that the other two didn't have previously. Just thought I'd get that out there, don't I? Just something I thought worth saying.
Yes. Yes, very nice. It was very nice. Did we rate Goblet of Fire?
I don't think we did.
I don't think we did.
No.
Fuck, we're not really good at this. 8.
7.
Cool.
Alright.
Anyway, back to this.
Yeah.
Let's rate Order of the Phoenix.
It's just that final
9.
ending with Sirius.
9
and
because
stuff.
it builds on a lot of things, and Harry learns that Dumbledore was trying to keep his distance so that nothing bad happened to him, to try and keep him safe and not get him hurt, because he wanted him away from all of this. It's a lot of building towards... All of the Harry Potter films are building towards the finale.
Part 2, not part 1. Yeah, well, I'd say an 8. That one.
Yes.
All the things was an 8, yeah.
On to number 6. The Half-Blood Prince. This is when the revelations really start to unfold, because we're towards the end. We're in the end game now,
We really are.
which we need to talk about after we've talked about Harry Potter. But my God, that was amazing.
Oh, yeah, we do, don't
Half-Blood Prince. Harry back at school. Yay. Really sad since
Finally.
losing old Sirius Black.
Who wouldn't? Gary Oldman.
I would miss Gary Oldman as well.
Yeah.
But then, there's a book that's discovered from the Half-Blood Prince, one of his textbooks, which
Fantastic piece of wisdom.
which corrects certain, potions and stuff like that, and
Oh, yeah, that's
makes
right,
him
yeah,
do better
yeah.
at school. So then
Yeah.
he's like doing a lot better in potions class and stuff like that. He's got feelings for Ginny,
Yeah.
more so now. After his brief little ting with
Which is like the most
Cho
subtle
Chang.
arc that you wouldn't
I'm
realise.
dating my best friend's sister. That's basically what it is. And it's very, very... It's a lot darker. Dumbledore is also sending him on raid because he found out about the Horcruxes.
Yeah.
They find out through the pensive, and
this is like the one where all the connections from the previous films.
It's where the the timeline starts to converge.
This is when you think, oh look, remember this from 3 films ago? Well, guess what? It's as relevant as you didn't think it was. This is where everything sort of does tie.
Horace Slughorn joins as the potions teacher because Snape gets Defense Against the Dark Arts, the position he's wanted for bloody years,
forever
love.
and ever. Yeah.
And so he's now got that. So Jim Broadbent is wonderfully charming in that role.
He is.
It's bloody gorgeous.
He was funny, yeah. Slughorn was a genuine surprise, yeah. He was cool. I liked him. Shame he didn't really come back.
Well, Slughorn does come back, but he's sort of like the
he doesn't do
the story moves away
from
Hogwarts. That's the thing.
Yeah,
so he's really good. So Dumbledore's sending Harry on because they found out through his memories in the pensive that when he talked on Riddle that he found out about Horcruxes, which is through murder you break off a bit of your soul, keep it in an object, so that if you die, you're not really dead.
Yeah.
Which is when they discover that the diary was one that Harry had destroyed in Chamber of Secrets.
It sounds like the most complicated regeneration that a Time Lord could ever conceive. But
Inconceivable, Joe. That was quite good.
Unconceivable, yeah.
Dumbledore's found a ring from the mother that is blackening his hand and like a virus, like a sort of infectious disease, like it's spreading through him. So
the curse of the Black Ring.
So to destroy it is sort of like damaging Dumbledore. They find out the location of another.
They do, yeah.
Which leads to that glorious shot, like ripped straight from the cover of Half-Blood Prince, of Dumbledore creating the swirl of fire around the island.
Yeah,
in the
that
cave.
is a beautiful shot. Yeah, that is beautifully done.
But the thing is, Harry's still not being told everything. Like, there's a lot that Dumbledore's keeping from him. And in the end, they get back. They find out that Malfoy is being used by Voldemort to kill Dumbledore.
He's embraced the villainy that we always thought. If you hated him, he's really embraced.
It's like a parallel journey, like the flip of a coin. One of them going one way, one of them going the other. There's a lot, and Malfoy's very reluctant to be sort of that version.
Got another side.
Version of himself. You learn a lot.
You see him crying in the bathroom. You see him cry. Like Harry sort of chases him for a good couple minutes.
Yeah, uses some of the spells from the Half-Blood Prince, Sectum Sempra. Tries to use it on. We're skipping ahead a bit. Tries to use it on Snape, but to no avail. They know that they're planning to kill Dumbledore using Malfoy.
Yes.
But Snape kills him. Dun, dun, dun. But yeah, so
Snape, you dickhead.
Revelation.
You dickhead.
And when the most powerful thing is when Harry's shouting, "Fight back, you coward!"
It's all in like slow motion.
And he thinks that like his world's shattered because Snape's a villain, but he's not, because he made the unbreakable vow.
Yeah.
To fulfill Draco's to fulfill if Draco couldn't. But he'd already, made a plan that we'll learn about in the film that we're going to talk about in a second.
In the next one, folks.
But yes, let's just say Dumbledore was onto them.
And it was the moment that he prepared for.
Dumbledore dying was very sad, very poignant, and it's the signal for, we're going to use this word a lot today, the end game.
The end game, yeah.
Oh my god! And
the end game.
Yeah, it's the signal that this is it. We are at the end. The battle is nigh.
Just suddenly thought. Change subject slightly. With the season Doctor Who Blu-ray box sets, they should have just called season 18 the end game as well.
Okay.
Just a sudden random thought.
Lovely.
Oh, thanks.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I would give it a 9. I really enjoy it. It's mainly for the end and sort of what it means for the series as a whole.
As a slight shock as well, if you haven't read the novels, it was a bit of a...
What
That
the
was
fuck is that noise, man? You need to stop.
kind of my reaction at the time when I saw it. I was speechless.
Lovely.
Didn't turn into a dinosaur, but
Look at the fuck. Look what that's just done to the sound. Stop.
Joe,
Fucking doing it.
chill out,
Please, motherfucker. Mother. Yeah, I'd rate it a 9. What would you rate Half-Blood Prince? Oh yeah, we find out. Sorry, after the killing of Dumbledore, Snape, I am the Half-Blood Prince. Which is the most Star Warsy moment Harry Potter will ever have.
Yeah. Harry, I am the Half-Blood Prince. Yeah. Yeah. It's alright.
Brilliant film. I love it.
Yeah.
Not my favourite, but still good.
Good.
I love the darker
Annoying.
ones. I love the darker sort of satire of this.
Of the universe. Yeah, no, definitely a 9. Yeah, it was a good film, that one.
And I like how the Order of the Phoenix team are sort of more like they're there. Which
They
is
are
good.
there, yeah.
If they had sort
Not
of
dropped.
cut them out, it would have been fucking annoying.
Mm.
Because they're not really. The only annoying thing is they're not really in bloody Goblet. But yeah,
No.
we know we're building towards not seeing them all forever. So the end is nigh. But Harry Potter and should we do Deathly Hallows as a whole thing? We'll
Yeah, we
speak
might as well,
about part
yeah.
1 and 2, but like.
Yeah, we might as well.
That was the whole story. Part 1 begins with the moving of Harry just before his 17th birthday, which is when the trace will end, so he'll be able to perform
Cool.
magic.
Oh, yeah,
It
that's
won't
right.
matter.
Yeah.
So they use Polyjuice Potion to make loads of duplicates of Harry to varying degrees of success because they get ambushed by Dumbledore, by
The
Voldemort and the
Death
Death Eaters,
Yeah.
which is very unfortunate.
No,
No.
it is World War.
There's deaths. This is the beginning because Moody bites the dust quite early on.
Another one bites the dust.
It is the story as they decide to continue Dumbledore's work from the Half-Blood Prince and hunt the remaining Horcruxes because they figure out that the fake one that they found at the end of Half-Blood Prince belonged to Sirius's brother, Regulus Arcturus Black.
Yeah, fucking hell. I wouldn't remember that. Regulus Arcturus.
Arcturus Black.
Arcturus Black.
Regulus Arcturus Black. And try and find out where it was, and the street trader Mundungus Fletcher points him in the direction of a very familiar guess who, Dolores Umbridge, having the Horcrux, because when it was cleared out, because there's a lot of movement against the wizards by the muggers, not the muggles, but there's movement against the wizards by the Death Eaters. I don't know why the muggles aren't
The
rising up.
Mugbloods.
The Mugbloods. And yes, so they use Polyjuice Potion to infiltrate the Ministry, but the Death Eaters have infiltrated the Ministry and
Of
have
course.
Harry Potter and friends as undesirables number 1, 2 and 3. So they use the Polyjuice Potion to get in, which they all wear off at different points to varying degrees of funny, especially Ron's
Oh, yeah.
when he's telling his wife to take the kids. And, oh my god, my wife's downstairs.
Oh, my.
So they get the Horcrux and they end up in the forest, and wherein the Horcrux makes you angry. Ron gets really angry. Ron leaves
Yeah,
everyone's
then it becomes a typical
sad.
teenage love story.
because everyone knows he's meant to end up with Hermione,
Yeah.
but
So he thought,
he
no.
leaves, and they're all like, "No, Ron," and they
He was acting on his feelings.
they
at the time.
find out they need the Sword of Gryffindor
Mm-hmm. Another relevant plot
because
device.
of the Basilisk venom from the second one has made it able to destroy Horcruxes. So yeah.
Yeah.
Find that, but they follow a Patronus that looks quite a lot like Harry's, but instead of a buck, it's a doe.
Well, it's a no, Bambi ain't a doe, is it? It is a Bambi. No?
Bam Bam.
Bambi, he's not a doe, isn't he, Bambi?
No, he's just a baby. He's a buck.
Oh, no.
Stag.
Yeah.
Fucking buck. Stag. Yes, a stag.
Young bucks.
Right, yeah. And so he follows the Patronus, finds the Sword of Gryffindor. The Horcrux tries to drown him, but who saves him from the water? It's old Ronald Bilious Weasley. And
And he's
they
irrelevant brother
use it,
person.
yeah, and they destroy the Horcrux that has been causing them so much ag. So it's taken the whole film to destroy one.
Bloody Horcrux.
They end up fucking getting captured by the Snatchers and end up taken back to Malfoy Manor, where there's torture, there's pain, there's death. Dobby, and Dobby gets them all out before he is throwing knifed across the map by Bellatrix Lestrange.
360 no scoped.
That is the most emotional point of the scene.
Crucio, that ain't the killing curse, isn't it? It is Crucio, or is it? Where's the killing
Crucio's the Cruciatus curse, then there's Imperio, the one that's like basically like the mind control curse that comes up a lot in Fantastic Beasts. It does. And then Avada Kedavra is the killing curse.
Avada Kedavra, that's the one I'm spelling of. Yeah.
Avada Kedavra!
Yeah, that's the killing one to Dobby. Yeah. The killing blow.
Yeah, he kills Dobby and he dies in Harry's arms. And going on the beach, the film ends. Please stop doing that fake crying shit.
Jesus, Jordan, get immersed.
There's no time to get immersed. There's no time, Susan.
I'm trying to convey emotion to the listener. They can't see us.
Save your emotion.
Got to make it believable.
Save your emotion for Fantastic Beazles.
Make it fucking believable, George.
Yes, so, Fantastic Beazles, where to bitch slap them.
Yeah, Fantastic Beasts are where to bitch slap them. Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of fucking up continuity. Part 2, Dobby's funeral. That is how it begins, isn't it? It's Dobby's funeral.
Yes, they bury him on the beach.
Very sad, very emotional, very. But then the film quickly shifts to.
Yes, I took all that whole film to get one Horcrux, and then it's like action packed. Like, they're finding Horcruxes everywhere. They have to go to the vault. They have to.
It feels like a Rocky training montage.
It is like that's the thing. Like that's why. Bloody Deathly Hallows. What do we rate it? 6. Just because it's so so exposition heavy and so just sort of slow, and all the fun part is part 2, which makes it so unbalanced.
Yeah, it really does. Really, really does. David Yates really fucking does. But yeah, it feels like a Rocky training montage. The way that Harry and the crew find all the other Horcruxes.
They find all the Horcruxes, and then what they do is they just destroy them.
Just simply, he's like a 10-minute job.
End up back at Hogwarts, so they destroy the thing of Rowena Ravenclaw.
Oh, good old, yeah. The heads of the houses become relevant.
Yep. The ghosts, back at Hogwarts, they find out that through Snape's memory, because Snape dies, killed by Voldemort, because stop with the fucking noise. Look, I have to edit that. Stop.
It's the Chewbacca groan.
That's not Chewbacca groan, it's just that's what you're doing. That's better, do that. That's softer, that's nicer on the ears.
Jordan, you're only saying that because you're right next to me. Like, if you had a better budget, you'd be on the other side of the room, okay? Yeah, Don't get mad at me.
If I had a better budget, we'd have a full studio.
Don't get mad at me.
Connor, dragging this out. I want to finish. I want to talk about how much I hate Grindelwald.
I know, guys, relate to the previous 3 episodes. You get the fucking message.
Fucking 2 hours. Anyway, yeah.
Jesus.
They find out because Snape gets killed because the wand's not working, because the Elder Wand, one of the Deathly Hallows, is all powerful to the owner and makes them almost invincible.
Almost. Not quite.
Snape is the one that killed Dumbledore, so Voldemort thinks he's still in control of the wand, so that's why he kills Snape. And Harry collects his memories. Turns out Snape was doing all of Dumbledore's bidding because of his love for Lily Potter. And that's why his Patronus is a doe in memory of her. So he led him to the swords, to destroy the Horcruxes when they were looking in the previous part. He kept them alive. As he says, you're raising him like a pig for slaughter, because he must die at the right moment to destroy the Horcrux.
A pig to slaughter.
So the Horcrux is then destroyed because Snape saves Harry in a way.
What a nice analogy. He's been sold off as raw meat.
And then he gets that sort of sad end, and just like, and through those memories you learn that everything happened for a reason. It is beautifully poignant.
Yeah, very emotional.
And you sort of have an understanding of Snape that you didn't have before, and it's great. Like, I love...
It is great.
And you learn rewatching him, like, all of it is for, and all of it's an act, and he's not really hating him, he's just trying to distance himself because he doesn't want to have his judgment clouded by his feelings for Harry's mother.
Yes.
Because we learn of the emotional backstory and finding out about when they died and all that.
Jazz.
Yes.
All that jazz.
But, yes. Very sad. Harry learns that he must die, so goes to the forest. The snitch that was left to him in Dumbledore's will contains one of the other Deathly Hallows, the Resurrection Stone. So he speaks to his loved ones before he dies. And obviously he possesses the invisibility cloak, which is the last Horcrux. So at one point he does possess all three, but not at the same time. And he's killed by Dumbledore, and then he is not by Dumbledore. He's killed by Voldemort. Bloody hell!
No.
Sees Dumbledore in the afterlife after the Horcrux is destroyed. Returns to life because reasons. And
that's the only plot hole with Potter. How the fuck does he actually come back?
Yeah, he just does. And the fight begins because now I think at that point then like 2 Horcruxes or 1, and then the snake is killed when Neville gets the sword
Neville has his fucking moment.
and he kills Nagini, and now he is once again mortal. And
he's a badass.
Bloody Harry kills fucking Voldemort because the wand worked for Harry, because Harry disarmed Draco, who disarmed Dumbledore, because reasons. And they all live happily ever after, and 19 years later, Harry's son...
The curse of fatal cursed child, whatever it is.
Harry's son is going to Hogwarts and doesn't want to be in Slytherin, and says no matter what he'll be proud of him and all that, blah, 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 blah. And then it ends in a very nostalgic and then it's, everyone cry. And we thought that was the end of the Wizarding World until 2 years ago.
Do you actually know about Cursed Child?
Yeah,
have you read into that?
Yeah, I've read the whole book.
Screenplay, but...
Yeah, I've read the book.
Yeah, I don't know. What happens in it?
Oh, Harry's son gets put in Slytherin.
Oh, okay.
And shit happens.
But
bye
now,
folks. His life starts to fall apart.
Links down below.
But yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is. And that's what we thought was the end of the Wizarding World until 2016's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
The Ginger
Based
Smith.
off of a textbook that was done for charity by JK and is used by students of Hogwarts, especially Hermione, in the books and referenced to in the films, I believe. Newt Scamander, the wizard zoologist, finding out about magical creatures.
Yes, Ginger Matt Smith.
Yes, Ginger Matt Smith in a big coat.
Yeah, in a doctor-like coat, you might say.
Yes. Doing basically a Matt Smith impression. Yeah, bow tie, yes. Do Angelo, bloody, I forgot. It's a niffler, yes.
He doesn't say too much. When he does, he's Matt Smith.
Every time he speaks, he makes it all sort of shy and sort of like that.
Funny face,
funny face, sticking the chin out.
Yeah.
I think that this would have been better as a standalone because that was originally the thing. Because it was sort of like, oh, we're going back to the Wizarding World. That's going to be a nice little revisit after. By then it was 5 years.
5 years.
It was 5 years after bloody Deathly Hallows Part 2. Yeah. We didn't rate Deathly Hallows Part 2. I will rate it a 7 and a bit.
8. An 8 out of 10.
It's a nice round off and nostalgia.
Innovation of
Fantastically Bish. Yes. Story of Newt Scamander, like studying the creatures as he goes to America, to basically because he wanted to release the Thunderbird. So that and he's learning and teaches these American wizards about his creatures, showing they're not so bad because he's writing his book, and that you should like learning to understand and reasons and a lot of fun. So it was. We saw it as like a magical little fun romp escapade where it was just going to be enjoying yourself.
Basically, it's like
in America in the 20s.
Harry Potter and the creature fan fiction, all magical.
But we learn very early on, in fact, at the beginning, that Grindelwald, the basically pre-Voldemort and Dumbledore's lover,
Voldemort 1.0, yeah,
the original, you might say. He is wreaking havoc, causing crimes, maybe.
Who knows?
Who knows until the sequel.
I thought he was a fantastic beast myself.
And so then there's the plot of that, and the boy Credence and
Greetings,
the Obscurus, which is when witch or wizard suppresses their magic and it becomes its own life force and entity, and like is born out of loneliness and hate and
We still don't
depression.
really exactly know what it is.
I don't think we'll ever know.
No.
And then this film became a trilogy, and then JK said it was 5, so we know that there's a lot of shit that's gonna happen.
As of this moment, we don't know how this ends.
Yeah,
we really don't
we've
know
seen,
how it ends.
Yeah, we've seen Grindelwald, but yes, I enjoyed this one because it's very much detached. But then that sort of annoyed me because if this is a joint story, this felt very much like I said last week and the week before, a prelude, like a sort of prologue, in the same vein as Phantom Menace, because you don't really see a need for these characters to be in that story.
Nope.
And I think they try their best, but they're kind of just shoehorned in Grindelwald. The creatures are fun. Dan Fogler as Jacob is
the best character.
Delightful.
He
and
is
fun.
amazing. Yeah.
Queenie and Tina Goldstein are sort of like, there's the fun-loving wizard and you got to do everything by the book, Mr. Scamander.
The noble muggle.
We see the No-Mages, and we see Makusa, their version of the Ministry of Magic. It's
Love America.
Yeah, the Makusa. The Makusa, boss! It's the Makusa! But yes, there's all that. It's a nice little world-building thing, very enjoyable, but Graves, the wizard aura, who is also tracking down Credence and seems a bit evil, and has a similar haircut to Johnny Depp, because he's Grindelwald. It turns out he was Grindelwald, guys.
Who would have known?
He was doing the magical spell that, that we all know, that's not Polyjuice Potion. Well, yeah, they do it just as well, because he does like Revelio or something, like is the spell.
Yeah, Revelio. That's it.
To reveal like his truth.
That wasn't like alluded to in Potter, was it? Revelio was like a new thing to me as far
I
as
think that maybe it's just a powerful thing. Like it's just a thing of like practicality, whether you can perform the spell or just make the Polyjuice Potion. And I think it's a lot easier to do the spell when you know it.
Right. Okay.
So it's like its own charm that sort of, it's almost like a protective charm, like, but just alters your appearance.
Mm-hmm.
When they capture him after Credence is killed, seemingly, scare quotes.
Killed.
By the auras, because he's been causing a lot of havoc and killing muggles and threatening the exposure to our world.
He got wiped out by Thanos. Let's just leave it there.
Dun, 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 dun. And yes, it's revealed that it's Johnny Depp playing Grindelwald, and this is going to have an effect. And then we get to, let's rate Fantastic Beasts. I think 7. I really do sort of have a lot of fun with it. Like, I can turn my brain off and just sort of have a lot of just like, it's just a nice little romp in the wizarding world.
It was when
I'm used to, but then the more you think about it, and with the other films, it will just start to annoy.
Nothing.
Yeah,
it didn't mean nothing.
But
really.
it does, because
in this one,
because
the new recent
part 2 of 5.
Yeah.
Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindlewald. It is the next stage of the Harry Potter saga. It's Dumbledore.
This is Dumbledore.
Dumbledamn. Jude Law. Sexy bastard.
You sexy beast.
Sexy motherfucker. It turns out that he sent Newt to America because he knew the Thunderbird would blah blah. It's like, you knew this would happen, Dumbledore. This sort of thing. I think they should have just gone full for it and just fucking made like Jude Law write like a classic Doctor or something. Just like,
in your time.
Oh yes. Dressed fucking Jude Law up like Hartnell.
Yes,
and then what happened? What happened? Yes.
Yes, Newt.
It starts with, I'm going to try and remember the plot because this movie's boring. It's fucking long and nothing happened. I sat there and I felt that I'd missed the film. I felt like I was in the third one because there was so much stuff being explained and going on. I was like, where are we?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, and the Grindelwald is being escorted from Makusa to the Ministry of Magic in England because it's better to have him in custody there because they're going to trial him or something. They've had to cut out his tongue because he's so persuasive.
Yeah, not for long.
But it turns out that he was disguised as his guard and the guard was disguised as him. But then why did he go back into the thing to save the guard? Why doesn't he just let him go to prison so he can just carry on his business?
Yes.
It's almost to make a statement of...
I can be anybody.
Of like, I'm back.
I could be you right now, sitting there if I wanted to.
Yes.
Click. Yeah, like, it did feel like that. very cheesy.
It felt sort of like, ha ha, I'm being clever.
I even remember
Not a great plan.
You remember looking at Mum thinking, what the fuck actually just happened?
He does that, and then Newt's living at home because he's banned from travelling because of what happened in Fantastic Beasts. His house gets broken into
dun, dun, dun.
by Queenie and Jacob, who, it's alluded to at the end, but it's fully confirmed that he remembers everything after the mind wipe. But it's sort of being held against his will by Queenie Goldstein, because she wants to marry him, and because of wizard law at that time she can't. So he's trying to, and he even says, like, I don't want you to get in trouble for this. Like, he knows what will happen, like the implications are if she does that. So he doesn't want her to be in danger because blah blah blah. She gets really selfish, has a fucking strop for some reason, and then fucks up to see her sister in France because Dumbledore's already given Newt a thing like France, like in case, because he needs him. He can't move against Grindelwald. Yeah, which we think is just a nice, sweet, sort of deep romantic thing. But then it just turns out it's because it's a Horcrux-like thing. But first, so they go to France because they're hunting Credence, who turns out survived.
Dun dun dun, who would have guessed?
Who is hanging out with Nagini, the snake, which adds nothing to the overall story of the Harry Potter universe.
Who is a person?
Because it's the blood curse thing, so she will eventually turn to a snake forever.
Yeah. Alright. Good wraparound at least, that's something.
It essentially means that Neville ends up killing a woman instead of a snake.
What a bastard!
And a woman eats a teacher from Hogwarts. But if you can get past that, you can get past anything, because it's Harry Potter.
What a bastard.
I'm trying to remember the fucking plot.
Neville's a woman.
Dumbledore's sort of in it, like at the beginning.
He's in it and he's not.
The Ministry want him to fight against Grindelwald. Like Newt's had his meeting saying you can travel again if you join the Ministry, and he can't think of anything worse because it's boring and he's all practical and he can't live like that. But there we go. He must do what he must do. Then ends up going to France with Jacob because it turns out that's where Tina is, because like the thing of them establishing they sort of like each other, and they follow it up, but she's angry because a magazine accidentally said he was getting engaged to Leta Lestrange instead of his brother.
Wait, who's that, George? Aren't we supposed to know who that is?
Oh, she's that woman that gets alluded to, like, oh, you used to fancy her. Like at school, like in the first one, it's like, that was her.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that she's going out and is engaged to his brother.
Out of all fucking people.
Theseus.
Talk about coincidence.
Theseus
something
Scamander.
Like Thesaurus Scamander.
Thesaurus Scamander. And the Big Bang.
Yeah.
His brother's alright. He's meant to be a bit dickish and sort of like straight by the book. They build up a lot of the relationship with Leta and allude to, because Credence wants to know who he is. That's why he went on the run. That's why he's with the Wizard Circus. Does Leta mean that she's important in this universe? You'd think so. Until, oops, they kill her off. By the way, Mitch, stop making that noise. Can you just do the chewy noise? Because that's just so draining. Thank you.
Hell, George, jeez.
Tell
me off camera.
Look what that does. Stop. I've got to fucking edit this shit.
Really?
Yeah, so they fucking...
So people want to hear my voice.
They want to hear your voice. They don't want to hear you going...
like
you sound like a badger that's getting molested.
No, I'm a Hoover.
Yeah, anyway, spoilers. Leta gets killed.
Yeah, hooray. You free
So all that... Yeah, so... Because there's the thing of... Oh, like, they think that Credence is the brother of... It was like someone that died. They think it might be Lestrange's brother that was seemingly killed, until she goes, no, it can't be, because I'm the reason he's dead, because I swapped him as babies because he was crying too much on the magic
that was a weird twist.
boat ride.
That was weird.
So that means he died.
Yeah.
So it can't be him. And then I love how Ezra Miller's basically all of us like, who am I? It's like, yeah, who is he? Like, who the hell is this kid? Are we meant to care?
It's like the raised parents thing. Will it ever get actually addressed?
So at least that was done well. It's like, oh, you cared about that? Nope, doesn't matter. That was kind of, funny. I like how everyone got angry at that. But now is not the time for Ray.
Not yet.
Not yet. Soon, my pretty.
Very soon.
Soon.
Daisy Ridley, shout out.
There is an insane amount of shite Trying to think.
What happens?
Yeah, Little Strange, blah blah blah. The animals and that are kind of shoehorned in just to keep the brand.
Keep the
The
Fantastic
Fantastic
Beasts.
Beasts.
Yeah.
Like that's why it's called the title. Whereas if it had just been called something else
Harry Potter.
and just been done by like,
Newt Scamander and the Crimes of Grindlewald. Well, yeah.
or just like another thing, like just another title, like just a standalone title instead of Fantastic Beasts, blah blah blah.
Dumbledore's
Now we're
like
gonna have to go through this shit thing of like let's shoehorn animals in because we have to make it look like
Relevant,
Newt's an important character and not
exactly.
just a one-off like he should have been. Should have, would have, could have, but it didn't. And yes, so the reveal at the end that we've talked about is that Credence is a brother of a wizarding family, but not
a Malfoy.
no, unfortunately not.
A snake.
But you sort of know that the ploy's coming because they keep going, but is Lestrange's brother. So we're just sitting there going, well, we know he's not then, if you're going to just tell us outright that he's... Yeah. It turns out that his real name is Aurelius Dumbledore. A brother of Dumbledore that didn't exist.
I was just going to bring that up. So you being like a book fanatic, he wasn't in the books at all, wasn't he? Like,
there is not that I can remember, of any
Right.
reference to someone called Aurelius Dumbledore. I could be wrong.
There's
So
Aberforth.
if I Aberforth is his brother and his sister
Ariana.
Ariana, because she gets killed, and there's a nice little reference to that, because I think there's some good acting in there. Jude Law plays like reference to his sister dying when talking to like when Lita says like you have no idea what it's like because I lost my brother. He's like actually I do because I lost my sister.
Yeah, but
And it's like, did you love her? And he just sort of like sweetly goes, not as much as I should have done.
Yeah.
And that's sort of a mistake that you get from Deathly Hallows that drives Dumbledore to become who he is. The kind of like that, like, and he doesn't want the fight. He really doesn't want the fight. He just wants
peace.
like the right thing, and he can't move against Grindelwald because they made a blood pact because they were at school together.
Which is different to an unbreakable vow, you presume. It's
Yeah,
like
so
an
I assume it's almost in the realm of a Horcrux because their
Yeah.
blood is in it, and Grindelwald wears it until a Niffler steals it off of him, so that then Newt gives it back to... That noise. Stop. Stop it, bastard. Stop! So Newt gives it to Dumbledore at the end. Yeah, there you go.
That's better.
That is better.
So, so even if I went, and you like, you prefer that?
I'd prefer that to...
Yeah, but I just went a little, and you like,
We'll just like make a noise that's like nice. Just like ooh or ooh. Maybe it is panto season. Let's be over dramatic. Yeah. So there's
nobody likes to see that. What?
I really
you
wonder
said
what.
fucking
That was good. I applaud that. That's quite good. Yeah. So it almost looks like a Horcrux because that's why they can't fight each other because of this blood pact and why they won't move against each other, which hopefully will be diverged into how their relationship come to that, whether it was them showing it as a sign of love for each other or
affection.
maybe like when they parted ways as lovers, that this was how
The
they
parting
wouldn't,
of the ways.
yeah, how they wouldn't go after each other or try and hurt each other, maybe sort of thing. We don't know. Hopefully we learn something.
2 years time we will find out
We
something.
will. We'll find out something. We might not find out what this is.
No.
But how this goes forward, I don't know, because there's a lot of continuity breaking with that, and the fact that McGonagall's in it, not only
like
in the present
day.
day, which is 8 years before she's born, but then also in a flashback from Lita, which is presumably at least another 10.
Fuck yeah! I didn't think about that. Yeah,
Because they put so because it's the same actress
doing both
essentially
things.
just trying to play the Maggie Smith version of Professor McGonagall, which like you can ignore, but if you're going to be so specific with the date, then why not just make the dates line up? Like if you're going to make a point of the date, make it right. That's the argument we're having.
It might be an
That's my argument with having like the Avengers thing, like with Spider-Man being 8 years.
Yeah, they will correct
Because
it.
if you're gonna
they will correct it.
if you're gonna make a big deal out of it, just do it right the first time.
Yeah,
Like, otherwise, you could have just not been specific.
Yes.
But there we go. But there we bloody well go. I think the main cast are, although they feel very shoehorned in, are a lot of fun still. Jacob is still fun, but I think criminally underused. There is something to be said. Jude Law was good. I hope we see more of him as it progresses. There's various little twinkles of Harris and Gambon in there, as well as having to be his own version of the character that builds towards that.
The Ultimate Dumbledore. Yeah. Yeah.
I liked those things. Johnny Depp for me was not too distracting, which I thought he would be.
He was
quite good at playing the sort of like trying like turning Goldie onto his side by using the marriage thing. That was very sort of subtle and nuanced and well done the way he did that. It wasn't him being out and out like boo his villain. It was just him just being like.
Even though I did the whole Queenie thing, I don't. It goes against her just like that. He has one conversation with her. And he says a few, and then she's like, "Oh."
Well, yeah, because even Jacob says like, "No, don't do this."
Yeah,
and she's like, "Come with me."
She turns onto his side. Basically, acts like a woman and gets all aggro-y.
Yeah. And she turns to Grindelwald's side because reasons.
Because of reasons, yeah. Just I don't know. Seemed a bit shoehorned to make a dramatic twist. If anything, the way Tina got introduced with her in black, I thought she's going to be the one that goes rogue. But it's just like,
oh yeah, but then they almost do like psych. There's a lot of trying to like confuse the audience and trying to be clever, which is just fucking annoying. I don't know at this point where you can go with the series. Like I don't know. I know you're building towards the ultimate fight of Dumbledore versus Grindelwald, and I just hope the third film isn't. I'm still trying to destroy this blood oath thing. I can't actually join in the fight right now.
Oh, look, more animals. Yeah.
Oh, look, there's animals here too. Blah, 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 blah. But the acting was fine. The story was a bit sort of... I don't think we got a lot of progression between this one and the bloody... and the first one. There's... Like I said, I was confused a lot of the time because there's a lot of over-explaining things. It's like, am I in the third one?
Yeah.
So I just hope that
it seemed a lot more epic than it actually was. That's the problem.
It was like going for scale, but it didn't actually have a story to back it up. Like it looked amazing, but I feel like you sort of save that for further down the line. You sort of actually just have the story move on. Like with at least with the Potter films, they moved on, built it towards the end game.
The end game.
And got it there. Yes.
Yeah. That wasn't intentional. We swear.
That one was. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you're going to go see it. I don't particularly... I think this is, out of all of them, the one I enjoy the least, out of all the Wizarding World films.
Everything.
Just because it's long, it's boring, you don't learn a lot. There's some fun moments to be had, but not as much as in other films. Even in the dark films, you still find stuff to enjoy.
Fair enough, yeah.
I'm struggling to give it more than a 6 at the moment, Connor.
Oh. No, I'd give it an 8 because, like, for me, the critics really seem to shit on it and make it sound like as if it was a real waste of time.
Oh yeah, they make it sound like it's a completely diabolical film.
And then I just remember sitting there and I was actually like, me and Mum both looked at each other and like, you know what, this actually isn't too bad. It's like, yeah, it's not what it should have been. It ain't what it could be. It is sort of shoehorned and rushed and epic, more epic than it's out to be. But I'd still give it a watch. But hopefully, like with Series 11 of Doctor Who, give it the other films out. It might have more of a rewatchability then. Like, once we know the full...
Hopefully.
Yeah, we'll have more of a... It'll have its place once 6 years rolls through. 6 years' time until we got something.
Hopefully something happens.
6 years' time. I know it sounds like a long way away, but it'll be here before you know it, folks.
Yes.
And we'll be at 5 million subscribers, hopefully. Who knows?
Who knows, eh? Who knows? We'll have maybe some subscribers. We'll definitely have a theme tune soon. Onwards and upwards. Next week, we're definitely pre-recording the Christmas one. We're doing our Christmas film, so try and send us some Christmas emails. Just try and send us emails.
Suggestions,
before
Christmas
Monday.
suggestions.
We're going to do 2. We're going to pre-record 2 on Monday and then record on Friday for the normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're going to see Spider-Verse. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Ham.
Try and speak about... I'll try and see Creed because everyone else has got me, bastards. And... yeah, we'll see what happens, boys and girls. So, shout, like, come and join in the convo on Twitter, Facebook. I would say Instagram, but there's not really any questions on there to be had. Email us, nerdbiblecontact@gmail.com. It's embedded in our brains, so it should be embedded in yours. At Pasty Sheep on all the socials, on Twitter, on Instagram, twitch.tv/pastysheep, Facebook, the Pasty Sheep thing. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a share, get the numbers up, because once the numbers go up, we can have more fun.
Yeah, we can actually do stuff.
Seriously, as we're approaching the end of the year, want to thank you for your support.
Because, I mean, Jesus
This
Christ,
year.
I don't think I'll be doing this for too long, but
No.
we're still
Well,
there.
we're nearly at 6 months, for fuck's sake.
No, it's mental. It is mental.
It's time to look forward to the Battle of Rancoras Rav Nav Nav. Mark Addy's in it. See you next week.
I don't get that. What the fuck are you talking about? The Battle of Rancor Raffalaf?
I'm trying to remember I'm trying
Rankalaf?
to remember the name of it.
Ravalus?
Yes.
Lazarus. I don't know. Davros. Ravadav.
Bye.
Ravadav!
Ramadan. Battle of Ramadan.
That's the new
Susan.
Battle of Punjab.
Susan confirmed. Hopefully something happens.
Time Child.
Good. The time to show. Goodbye.
Bye. Time Child.